Good morning and welcome back to Morning Coffee Live. Today, I want to talk about where to begin. And what I mean specifically is where to begin when you want to start marketing your business. You have a new company or you have an existing company, but you decide you want to start marketing. You don't have a lot of budget for it. What's the best way to get started? Well, I'm a big believer in all aspects of marketing. Traditional marketing, public relations, advertising, um, you know, paid public relation. Every single area of marketing you can imagine has value. So the question becomes, where do you start? Well, Bill Gates has a great quote on that. He said, "If I was down to my last dollar, I would invest it in PR." Now, Bill Gates, you have at the time he said that was, I believe, the richest man in the world, but founder of one of the most successful companies ever, being Microsoft, of course. He said he put his last dollar into PR. Why is that? Well, that's a good question. Why PR? Why not put it into a paid ad? Why not put it into a Google Ads? Why not put it into a billboard? Why not put it into uh, put it into an event? No, he said put it in PR. Well, the power of PR is an incredible thing, and it's something that I think a lot of people tend to miss these days. They are so caught up in all the fancy new methods of advertising that they forgot about the kinda basics where it all came from. Public relations is more than press releases. It's more than, speeches to the media. Public relations is about communicating with your affected publics. Whichever publics matter to you and your business, it's about how you talk to them. You might ask, well, why does that matter? I just want to sell a product. Well, why it matters is public relations will help you develop your core audience, your core consumer base. It'll get you your brand evangelists, the one who want to see you succeed, beyond just people who buy products. It's also one of the most cost effective methods of marketing and advertising there is. If you're going on a awareness basis on like a CPM level, you're going to get more reach with PR than you are with almost any other paid tactic. If you use public relations, you can tell a lot of stories that can build brand trust, brand interest, that can product interest, product trust, and even lead to sales. And you could do it without having to take the advertising approach, the direct selling approach. Why is it advantageous to not take a direct selling approach? Well, people don't like being sold to. Simple as that. People don't want to be sold to. They would rather you just talk to them and let them make a decision. If you have a good product and you have a good, unique selling proposition for your product and you understand your ideal customer profile, if you write the right messages about your product and you put them in front of that right audience, a good product should sell itself. And so you just need to educate. And how you educate is via PR, one of the best methods of education out there. What does that involve? Well, it could be press releases. Sure, that's the good old fashioned way. You could either do it the way that most people default to these days of write up a press release, put it out on one of the many wires available, and you'll get your default pickup from, Yahoo Finance and a couple others that pick up almost everything that hits the wire. And you'll get millions of impressions from it for very, very inexpensive for just a couple $1,000s. You should put on a wire for under $3,000 and you can get some good coverage. Well, that's a great starting point. But what else can you do? Look at the peso model: paid, earned, shared, owned. Paid's great, but it also costs a fair amount of money. Earned, the beauty of earned media is it can be done relatively inexpensively and it also gets a bonus. When you have earned media, you get the implied endorsement of whoever shared it. And so now it's a third party sharing your message, which makes people automatically put more credence to it, more weight to it. If you see an article that runs, or if you see something about a company in the newspaper, you're going to be more inclined to believe it than when you see it on social media or when you see it on an advertisement. So there's a big value to the earned media. Another nice part is it's inexpensive. You can write your own press releases using AI, ChatGPT these days. You can do that quite efficiently, quite cheaply yourself. And if you know what you're trying to do, you can build a custom model that can do it for you for literally pennies. Um, and then when you put it out there, you have, as I said, a wire cost. But there's another thing everyone's forgetting: pitch reporters. Make sure you know the people in your industry at least. Build relationships with them. Take them to coffee. Take them to lunch. Get to know them. Be on a first name basis with reporters that cover the industry that you function in. So that then when you do have something that's legitimately newsworthy, you could reach out to them and say, "Hey, Bob, I've got this press release. It's right up your alley. I think it's something that your readers will enjoy, and obviously you make sure it is. And you're going to get coverage, and you're going to get pickup for no cost to you. What's the advantage of that over the wire? On the wire, you'll get pickup, but it's going to be random pickup. It's going to be based on either algorithms grabbing it based on words in your release, and it's going to go out to the same audience that sees these all the time. It's going to get buried in, the fourth page of Yahoo News somewhere where, yes, they get, X million or 100 million, unique monthly or unique daily viewers, whatever it may be, but you're not hitting an engaged audience. If you work with people you know in the industry, you work with reporters and outlets you know, then when they run your release, you're getting to an audience that you know actually cares about it. So how you approach your PR is very important. And earned media is it has an intrinsic value. And also in the peso model, you have shared and owned. Shared is media that other people effectively give to you to use for your own. That's great. I mean, if I were to call out any major brand right now and talk about them, that could then be used as shared media, or you could argue it's earned too, but shared media by another company because they can repost that, let's say, on their social, things like that. Shared media can also be a partnership. Get together with another company that's very similar to what you do and go halvesies. Going on media together. This also ties into PR. You can do paid public relations as well. It's the area of PR most people don't talk about. Most PR practitioners are like, "Oh no, we don't, do paid media." And the paid media people go, "Oh no, that's PR work." So it kind of lives in a little gray area in between. But do some radio media tours. Do a satellite media tour. Do audio news releases. I would avoid the old-fashioned VNR. Um, they kind of got a bad rap back in the day for being fake news and can't really blame them. That's what they were designed to be. But use audio news releases, use co op media tours, get together with a partner or two that have similar products that may, don't compete, but let's say work well together and do a satellite media tour. It'll get you live coverage on television, recorded coverage on television. You'll get interviews from different shows across the country, usually a half dozen to a dozen of them, depending on the media tour you do. And then you can syndicate that across the country. You can run it on, the morning shows. You can get in front of an audience really easily and effectively. And once again, for a lot cheaper than you would through paid digital media. Paid marketing, paid digital media is phenomenal, but you got to pay for it. You have to do that for PR services as well, but you're going to get generally a pretty good bang for your buck. You're also going to walk away with creative assets that continue to live. If you shoot a media tour while you're at it, you're going to get yourself some live video of your product being spoken about, usually by a subject matter expert. You can now use that also to share on your social media platforms, etc. So you have a piece of media that can grow. It can also even be turned into ad copy for paid digital. And then finally, in the peso model, owned. Hit owned media. What is owned media? Well, what you're watching right now is my owned media. If you're a small business owner or working in a small to medium sized business and you have the time, start a podcast, start a live stream, just start posting on LinkedIn, start talking about your products. Um, I mean, LinkedIn, I think, is going to start a little tangent here, but I think LinkedIn is going to struggle a bit with its social network. And the reason is it's hardly a social network anymore. It's gotten to the point where it's mostly just media for businesses. If you go through, it's every single thing you look at is someone selling something. It's not inherently a bad thing. But it doesn't mean that the social media aspect is slowly dying out. Yet another reason why I wanted to start live streaming was bring back some real humanity to the platform. It's always been one of my favorites. But if you look at it, let me pull up my feed here. Let's do it this way. Let's make it even bigger. There we go. If you take a look at the feed here, you know, Cvent. Check out the latest ebook, Dialing Up Your Event Engagement, which offers solutions for cutting through the news and building meaningful connections with your prospects and customers. Right here. This falls under the PR marketing advertising realm. This event, how marketers or this ebook, sorry, how marketers are getting more results from their events, and you can too. It's a sales pitch, guaranteed. Iona University. Here we go. This is great. The Iona Presbyterian Iona School of Sciences offers a new vision for collaborative healthcare education. In a profession with limitless possibilities, Iona University is becoming the go to spot in developing the next generation of healthcare professionals. Here from Pixel Evans, Marcel Cashman, what's drawing students to Iona? Iona's my university. I'm an alum there. Did my master's in PR marketing and advertising there. Absolutely love the school. But what's great about this is marketing. Iona University, but are they saying come to Iona, come learn here? No, they're talking about what they're doing. That they're offering new vision of collaborative healthcare education. It's a go-to spot. Here they have an interview, people talking about the program. This is PR. They are relating to their affected publics. People who go to this school are proud to say, that's my school. Look at what they're doing. Potential students, people looking for a school or who are going to see this, and if they're interested in the medical field, go, oh, wow, look at the cool stuff they're doing. This is marketing. You think AI will take over maximum jobs all over the world? Yes, yes, it will. Jobs are expensive for companies. They are getting more expensive every day. Minimum wage goes up on lower level jobs. Higher level jobs are getting more competitive, white collar work. Anywhere business owners can save money, they are going to try to do so. That's the nature of business, always has been. Maximize profits, reduce costs. AI has an incredible ability to maximize profits and reduce costs. And as people start figuring that out more and more, AI will take over the maximum number of jobs around the world. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though, because at the end of the day, those people are not just going to sit on their hands. People are going to need to earn a living. They're going to need they're going to need to work. And so, what that's going to do is it's going to increase the workforce and more jobs will fill up for it. It's going to increase overall production. If there's no, if AI starts taking all the jobs in a certain sector, a certain area, well, what's going to happen is some entrepreneur is going to come around and say, "Hey, there's a lot of extra employees now with this set of skills," and they're going to create a new company to put those people to work. You're also going to get companies showing up that are going to be anti-AI, and they're not. I mean, whether they're truly Luddites or if it's more a thing of just that's going to be their shtick, you're going to get companies that are going to pop up and say, we don't use AI. We only hire the best there are. And well, with AI taking over half the jobs, you are going to have a large pool of people to select from at first, and you're going to be able to get experts. And you can build the non-AI companies taking the experts that lost their jobs to AI. But then you're also going to just see new industries pop up. We're going to see more manufacturing in this country, more things going on for to put people to work. At the end of the day, yes, AI is going to take over the maximum jobs it can, but new jobs are going to come to replace those because people will continue working. People will need livelihoods. And so when enough people start sitting around looking for a job, someone's going to give them a job to do. And we're going to see overall, I think, growth of the economy due to AI. So that's what I say there. Let's see what people think. We'll go with the other. Yeah, see, once again, AI, nobody's clear. Nobody really understands it. If you haven't yet, go back and read my white paper. It'll help give you a better understanding. So the truth is, I think everyone's jumping into AI a little too quickly, not in the sense of they shouldn't be doing it yet. Now is the time to be getting in. They're jumping in, though, without having the proper knowledge before they're signing a dotted line somewhere. They're not quite sure what they're getting for their money, and they're not getting the best they can either. HubSpot. Uplevel your digital marketing with HubSpot Academy's free certification course. Advertisement. Video below puts things in perspective. Some people at their 9 to 5, that's everybody at their 9 to 5. It's like, actually, no, I'm this kid. I love going to work every day. It's one of my favorite things, but that's just funny. Does remote work increase productivity? The Board of Directors Society. Interesting. I wonder if there's actually a group of the Board of Directors Society that really wants to know this, or if they're just trying to build interest. I wonder if they're doing a research paper or something. But does remote work increase productivity? That's a tricky question because I believe the answer is it can, and it absolutely can destroy it as well. Remote work isn't for everyone. A lot of people succeed on it. A lot of people thrive with it. I love remote work. If I have my choice, I will never set foot in an office, on a regular basis again. I'm always happy to travel and go to the office and see people. I'd rather work from home. I'm far more productive because my office is a 12-second commute from anywhere in my house. So I can get to work at any time. I love the ability to be able to pick my daughter off the bus when she comes home from school each day. I mean, I think that's incredible, and tell her to sit down and do her homework while I go back to work. I think the fact that taking commute hours out of it versus commuting to the city frees up 3 hours a day, which I tend to put to work. I'm the kind of guy I sit down at my desk usually right around 9:30 every day, and I don't get up from it till usually 5:30 sharp. I don't take a lunch break. I'll get up, grab a snack, this or that, once or twice throughout the day. I'll spend maybe 30 minutes away from my desk throughout the course of a standard work day. But then also because I work from home and my desk is at home, I get to come back to work almost every evening after the wife and kids are in bed. And it's, coming up on 9:30, 10 o'clock. I like to sit back down and work again. I'm not advocating for a 60-hour work week, although that's what I tend to do. Um, I love working. I love marketing. It's what I do. So for me, having the ability to come back and sit at my desk and have that be my workspace, it doesn't work. That never worked out the same when I worked in an office because my workspace was my desk at my office. Now my workspace is my desk right here in my home. Having that available to me at all times increases my productivity drastically. What you see on the flip side is you see a lot of people who take advantage of remote working. You see a lot of people, and if you've worked in any major company, you've probably seen it as well, or at least the signs, whether you recognize them for what they were or not. But you see a lot of people that take advantage of it. They literally wait for a message to come in or an email to come in that's asking them for something. They respond to it, and they spend the rest of their time watching Netflix and watching TV and cooking and cleaning and doing everything other than work. Does that mean they're bad employees? Well, no, it means they most likely have bad managers who don't give them enough work to do, or they don't have enough work to do, or that they're just not getting the proper coaching. Most people are willing to put in a solid work day, um, but if life gets a little too easy, too convenient all the time, it might be hard for them. And that's where it takes some coaching. The third place where you run into issues with work productivity with remote work is the fact that there's a lot of jobs where remote work just isn't possible. If you take manufacturing, for example, you generally have to be inside a facility somewhere working, whether it be on an assembly line or any other way. It's just mandatory that you're in office because there's no way to do the job remotely. So remote work is a bit of a white collar specialty area in the sense of not everyone's available to do it. Um, and those of us that are do have an advantage with it. But does that make it a bad thing? No, I think it's about the greatest thing to ever happen to the working world in America is remote work. But I think you need to be very careful about your employees and make sure you have the right ones. If you look into the research, the average American employee only puts in about 1 to 2 solid productive hours of work a day, each day in their 5-day work week. So the truth is, your average worker, don't kid yourself, a lot of you are this, your average worker only puts in 10 to 15 hours a week of actual work. So whether that work be done in an office or at home, what does it really make a difference? I found that when you let people work from home, that average productive work goes from about an hour to 2 hours up to 3 to 4 hours at least across the average, just because you take all the distraction of the commute, of the coworkers, of the um, whatever you had in your office, the pool table, the coffee pot, the kitchen. Take all those away. It's easy for people to sit down and work if they're willing to dedicate to it. And the truth is, with the average employee giving you only 1 to 2 hours of work, if you're getting 3 to 4 hours of work from a remote employee, you're still winning, whether you like it or not. You're still winning. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you can, let people work remotely as much as possible. Just get the right people who will do the job. When I work out of an office, you get a 40-hour work week out of me because I show up on time. I try to leave on time because I have an hour and a half commute to get back home. Then I got to come home, make dinner, feed my children, get them, get things ready for school the next day, put them to bed. By the time all's said and done, after an 8-hour work day, I'm shot. When I'm working from home, I don't have all that commute time. I get to put that back into a work day instead of working a 40-hour work week. I like to work a 60-hour week. That's just my preference on hours to work, and generally how long it takes to do a reasonable job in most jobs is about 60 hours. So, does remote work increase productivity? Well, yes, a lot. Also, yes, a bit. And also, it decreases it. A lot of it comes down to the employees. I don't think we should be looking at doing away with remote work. I think managers need to get better at coaching their teams, and companies need to get better at monitoring it and firing the people who take advantage of it so they don't ruin it for the rest of us. Quick little tangent there. Um, Jumping back down, boutique growth. I have no time to focus on client acquisition. Too busy working for my clients. I think that's hilarious just because, one, it's boutique growth. It means this company is a marketing company trying to get you to hire them probably to find more business for you. Let's see. Sending spammy sales messages. My God, please don't. Harassing decision makers. Annoying. Begging your network for leads. You're welcome to do that, but begging doesn't tend to work for anyone. It's time to finally leave all that behind. If you have about 90 minutes, I'll reveal the easy but counterintuitive method we use to generate business as consultants. You can expect to generate at least 10 B2B opportunities in the next few weeks using this method. Plus, it's much easier and feels a lot better than what most consultants are doing. Everything is completely free and on demand. So, yes, I can guarantee you if you have 90 minutes, they'll reveal an easy and counterintuitive method. I've never been to boutique growth events, but I know how these things work. You can generate, if you go to this 90-minute meeting, you'll learn all about how to become successful. And they'll finish the meeting with basically, here's your free offer, usually. Um, and if you want to continue for just this amount of money, you can do this and become part of everything. And if you do, will you get 10 B2B opportunities in the next few weeks using their method? Well, if you pay the dues, you dedicate yourself, do what they tell you to do, put the time and in the effort, you probably will generate 10 B2B opportunities in the next few weeks using their method. You can also use any other of 2 dozen methods out there. I mean, I'm live streaming right now. This is a method of finding work. It's a matter of putting in the time and dedication. I have no time to focus on client acquisition as I'm too busy working for my clients. I find that kind of funny because this is a message to get clients being used by a third party, by one of their clients to bring clients to them. So, once again, though, coming back to the moral of the story, what is all this? This is media. Look, this is written on a notepad, how to build killer SEO. I've used SEO to grow my startup to 9 million visitors in 3 years. But SEO marketing took me 10 years to learn. Oh gosh, it gets a little deep on that. I'm not going to read it all right now. But at the end of the day, how to build killer SEO. What is this? This is owned media. Everything you're seeing here is owned media in the paid, earned, shared, owned model. The ESO, the earn, the shared, the owned, that is your starting place with a small budget. That is where to begin. Remember, as Bill Gates said, if I was down to my last dollar, I would spend it on public relations. Let me see if I can find that real quickly. Kitty, you're in the way. Your favorite place to be, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. And yeah, I mean, let me just share my screen one more time real quickly. Here we go. If I was down to my last dollar, I would spend it on public relations. I, the quote's always been attributed to Bill Gates, but I think it's true. At the end of the day, you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You're going to tell the stories there. That's where you're going to build relationships with long-term clients versus a quick, easy sell. Marketing gets you sales. I mean, it can do all the marketing as a whole, obviously includes public relations, but like advertising gets you sales. It gets you people to your website, drives traffic. Sure. If you want the most cost efficient method of getting your message out there, building your brand and getting more people to know about your company and what you do, and if you have a good product, that should be enough to get you going. Take your last dollar or your first dollar and spend it on public relations. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please feel free to throw some questions into the chat. I would love to be able to answer those, and go ahead and click a like, share, whatever else. Would really appreciate it. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day. Say bye, kitty. Bye bye.